Well, San Miguel Beermen took a big step in their journey to championship glory by clinching their spot in the quarterfinals of the Commissioner's Cup of the 48th season of the PBA. Now can the Beermen become the top team in the league once again? Well, joining us to go all out in this story are Terrence, Romeo, and head coach Jorge Gallent. They join us live via Zoom. Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, Coach. Terrence, can you hear me? You might be on mute. You might have to switch it up a bit. Let's try that once again. There you go. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us, both Terrence and Coach. Well, Coach, let me start with you. Congrats, first of all, for securing your spot in the quarterfinals. I mean, a lot happened then. How nervous were you, Coach, during that game? Did you think that your boys could actually pull it off?
Definitely, as long as I always tell them, as long as you play as a team, and we'll be okay. But the most important thing is we just have to play good in the fourth quarter for us to have a chance to win the ball game, which the team did. So I'm very happy that we pulled through in the fourth quarter.
I mean, of course, you guys pulled through thanks to Terrence. I mean, you had a great last game Monday. I'm sure, you enjoy hearing this over and over again. Well, 22 points, 15th of that in the fourth quarter with 8 assists. That was actually one of your best games in this conference. I mean, what happened? I mean, the switch actually just turned on. What happened to you in that fourth quarter? Terrence?
Yung game na yun nga parang same lang yung mentality ko na maging aggressive sa offense, ganun din sa defense, tsaka kung paano ko maapektuhan yung game na ma-involve ko rin yung mga teammates ko. So yun nga, first half medyo hindi ganong swerte, pero yun nga, kailangan kasi same pa rin yung mentality ko na aggressive ako na hanapin yung mga shots ko, at the same time hanapin yung mga teammates ko. And ayun, sobrang thankful ako sa tiwala ni Coach George na kahit na ganun yung first half ko, bigyan niya pa rin ako ng chance na makabawi. And ayun, credits din sa mga teammates ko kasi talagang hindi ko kaya kung wala yung mga teammates ko.
At galing mo rin, Terrence, na, considering, you weren't so sure or you're off to a slow start, sa first 2 quarters, you did not doubt yourself. I mean, you knew that if you kept that same mentality up, you would actually be able to help your teammates pull through in the fourth. I mean, Coach, let's face it, you actually defeated a very good Phoenix team to clinch your quarterfinal spots. I mean, what were your thoughts before SMB, before you showed its end game? What were your thoughts on that? And also moving forward, how do you assess how your team has played so far after like nine games or so?
Yeah, we just watched a lot of film. Everybody was saying that Phoenix was just a mid team, but the team won six straight games. So. Yeah. We just watched a lot of film and we just watched their weaknesses, and then we would just try to stop their strengths. So a lot of film though.
I mean, it wasn't, this year you went through a lot of bumps, in the road. You had, injuries. You have Junmar that's been out. Of course, Terrence as well, also, injured, although he seemed to have found himself, in your last game, Vic Manuel, Jeron Teng. What do you think? Do you think the guys can come together for the playoff? Coach,
definitely, Terrence has not been playing and those guys, but Terrence has been shooting a lot. He's been extra practice, but when it comes to the scrimmages, he just has to rest. So he just knew the flow of the game. So when he played against Phoenix, he was comfortable with it. Mm-hmm. So Terrence is just not in the sidelines. He shoots a lot and he makes his way to always be in shape.
I guess, Terrence, you're always one player that plays smart. You always play aggressive, which is why you end up shining so much, in that fourth quarter. Well, a lot of so much has actually happened in San Miguel. You've had, a lot of new players come, some players go. I mean, Coach George, fans were quite impressed with import in Benny Boatwright Jr. But of course, a lot of people are still very curious as to what made you decide to replace Ivan Asca at this point in the Commissioner's Cup. He played so well in his last two games. Well, your reply after our quick timeout. When we return, San Miguel Beermen head coach George Gallent and star point guard Terrence Romeo will answer more questions. You're watching Sports Desk on CNN Philippines, where we go all out for the day's top sports stories. Good morning. And welcome back to Sports Desk here on CNN Philippines. Well, still with us, our guest, San Miguel Beermen head coach George Gallent and star guard Terrence Romeo. Okay, so I did ask you a hanging question, but we're going to keep that hanging for a while. However, Coach, my first question for you right now is that, well, we all know that seven-time MVP Junmar Fajardo is yet to make his return on the team. How is he and when is he coming back, Coach?
Junmar is coming back when we play Blackwater on January 12th.
Nice.
But Junmar's always been in when he got injured. He's always been lifting weights so that he won't get out of shape. So which is very good news for our team because he has not rested when he got injured.
That's right. Well, Terrence, I mean, with all the changes in SMB, sabi nga ni Coach Junmar out due to injury, you have new teammates and a new import. I mean, what can you say about the chemistry that you have, wherein a lot of the players, required to step up, probably switch positions a bit? What can you say about your chemistry now?
Actually, yung chemistry madaling makuha kasi yung mga na-add sa amin is mga talented players. Pagka-talented players kasi sobrang dali lang yan makapag-adjust sa kahit anong system. Kailangan lang nilang mag-blend dun sa system ni Coach George, system namin. So, pag talented ka, so, si Don sobrang talented, Jeron, yung mga rookies namin, sila Kit, tapos yung import namin. Kaya I'm sure hindi mahirap para sa kanila na mag-blend dun sa team.
Well, speaking of, chemistry, you do have a new import coach, and that's Benny Boatwright Jr. But of course, you guys were previously reinforced by Ivan Asca. I mean, what made you decide to switch imports at this point in the Commissioner's Cup?
Well, lucky for us when I'll just talk about Benny first.
Sure.
Benny Boatwright. Lucky for us when Benny arrived, I think we had an 8-day break, so he got used to the team, and then we practiced for 6 days, so he kind of got the feel and the system. Going to Ivan, Ivan was a great import, but we had to get a bigger import because Junmar got hurt nga.
That's right.
And I think as of now, Benny's the tallest import, so that's why we decided to get Benny because of his height.
That's right. I mean, you had to adjust your game of play depending on, how your team was functioning at that point. Terrence, I mean, you played a couple of games, with Ivan before Benny took over. For you, I think you have a great sense of the game, a great sense of the player. For you, was it an easy transition from Ivan to Benny?
Magkaiba kasi sila ng magkaiba ng strength yung parehong imports. So, siguro yung kay Ivan, malaking tulong siya sa amin. Pero I'm sure merong si Benny kasi more on mas na-spread niya yung floor. Kaya niya trumipon. May atake siya, pwede rin siya maglaro inside and outside. Sobrang taas ng percentage ni Benny. Lalo na pag nakita niyo siya sa practice namin, grabe, halos hindi siya nagmi-miss ng 3 points. So, para sa amin, malaking factor yun . And then, kailangan na lang namin i-add is yung team defense as a team. So, yun ang naibibigay naman ni Ivan. Magaling siya mag-defense. Pero kung as a team, mapupuna namin yung defense and then we have Benny na may ganyang talent, na may ganyang arsenal, sobrang laking factor para sa amin nun. Sobrang laking tulong para sa team.
Okay, before I let you go, Coach, moving forward, how do you assess how your team will do in the next few games?
Well, we just have to be, we just have to play as what I always tell them. We have to play as a team. We have to share the ball, and we just have to ride on our 3-game winning streak by just playing as a team. That's all.
That's right. Well, enjoy your break while you have it before you come back for your next game in 2024. Maraming salamat sa inyong dalawa. Thank you again for joining us, of course,
you.
Terrence and Coach George. And
Thank
good
you.
luck to San Miguel.
Merry
And
Christmas.
thank you. Merry Christmas. And we'll be
Thank you.
speaking to you
Merry
again
Christmas
soon. Merry Christmas as well. That was San Miguel Beermen once again, head coach George Gallent and Terrence Romeo.